Hello, 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 everybody, everybody. What's cracking? What's happening? What's going on? How is everybody doing? Guys, people of the sea and people of everywhere. Cheers to moving forward in life, guys. Guys, this is I kind of want to vent live stream. So yeah, well, I just kind of want to vent on something real quick that happened last night. I know I said I wasn't gonna do a live stream. I kind of wanted to do a live stream today, but I'm not sure what the topic was gonna be about. But guys, when I tell you, cheers. I tell you, cheers. Hello, hello, welcome in. Now, so on Facebook, right? And I guess this is just me kind of venting out as well as just, I mean, you could come and join in if you want. We can talk and chill and chat. But Facebook has people you may know. I kind of don't want, I don't add nobody on Facebook. I only got one person on Facebook friend. I basically ghosted everybody, deleted everybody, just didn't care for Facebook. Everybody now is like on Instagram, but every so often you'll get notifications saying people you may know. Now I have well, not a notification, but I saw people you may know, and would you look at the time? It was my ex. My ex. I saw him, and I saw his profile picture. And I'm all like, now, guys, if you weren't here on my last season, you can go watch the video. I believe it's called, um, let me see. I don't remember to. Oh, I think it was Cheers. He's getting married. Go watch that video if you haven't. It's on season 5 of BM Worlds. I have a playlist of all of them, of all my live streams. But yeah, so yeah, that I saw his profile picture and I was completely excited for him that he finally got married and he finally is like cheers moving on. Now, on my last live stream, my last live stream, I had said things about relationships and stuff because I talked about relationships all the time. And some people they can get married, they could just be in a relationship and that that's it, or they don't want to be married, just want to be in a relationship. Now, when I tell you, I think it was last live stream. I said just because someone talks about their ex doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, maybe to you, but I see nothing wrong talking about your ex. It can be overwhelming for some, I understand, but just because you had a memory of like a place and you just reference your ex doesn't mean that you still have feelings for it. Now, a lot of people get that mixed emotion. I see that all the time. That's all like, no, the person came to the specific location with that other person, significant other, when they were at that time. So it makes sense on my behalf. Other people are like, oh, you're not over your ex, blah blah blah. I was like, no, y'all actually had memories. So you're just spontaneously saying the memories. Hold on. And it makes perfect sense. But so what I'm ranting on, it might sound weird for a lot of people, but I'm happy that my ex finally got married. Now, I personally, if anybody knows me by now, I don't believe in marriage. Maybe I will later in the future, because I don't know. We don't know what the future has. It could just click all of a sudden for me, or see what happens, and then I'll all of a sudden now I'm in marriage. But I still kind of don't believe in that marriage, and I don't really want kids. I never really, really wanted kids. It was something for, I don't know, something that, I don't know. It's a weird little thing in me that I'm like, I'm a kid myself, first of all, and I like to have fun and explore. I never did see myself having kids. I never did see myself in my previous relationship being married, and I didn't want to get married because it was basically common law. Me and him were like common law married. We were together for like 10 years, and I just, it kind of stuck like that. Like, it took me about 3 years, maybe 2 years or 3 years and some change, for me to introduce him to my grandparents and stuff. Like, I'm assuming maybe 2 years and a half or something like that, of that nature. But I was the type of person that wanted to hold on to a relationship, and I did. I conquered that. But of course, with every relationship, you have your ups and downs, and we had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of going all over the place. But we still stuck with each other. Now, there was a whole bunch, like I said, during the 10-year span of relationship. A lot of people, like around 7 years, that's when we were together. Oh, when are you gonna get married? When are you gonna have kids? And hurry up, I want to see kids. Now, don't have kids because your parents, or to make others people happy in your family. Have kids when you're ready. No one's say, "Oh, my grandma wants some little boy or girl." We don't know. We don't know what's gonna pop out. But he wants a granddaughter or a grandchild, whatever. And to be fair, a lot of people get pressured into having kids and being married because of their family. Now, a lot of Hindus struggle with this. Kind of sad, kind of sad in a way. But I see a lot of Hindus have their ways of thinking, and I don't know what religious belief it is, but you well, their parents basically pick out the male for them, and that's just so weird at a young age too. I don't know the hello, welcome in. I don't know what the ethnicity is, what they do, but I know for some of them it is just like, we need to grow a business, so have kids, so that way we can grow our business like a convenience store kind of thing. Because if you ever notice in convenience stores, it's kind of sad, but some of them, well, I could say Dairy Queen, some of them have this family owned business, and it's all like they have children so that way they can have business. It's just kind of all over the place. But there's some beliefs out there that are different from others, so it makes total sense. But yeah, I'm rambling on too much about that. But hey, I'm happy for my ex to be finally married, because I could never give that to him. And there was so many times and so many encounters where he would ask me about that. And it was just like a, leave that alone subject. Like, we're not going anywhere. And as far as kids, yes, there was a couple of scares, but nothing actually happened. Give me a second. Um, and I said this a while back in my live stream, probably last season, somewhere along the line, but I believe, yes, there is someone for someone. We don't know. Maybe there's someone for me, and I just don't know. We're all blindsided here. We don't know when it's gonna click or whatnot. But yes, I do believe kind of someone's for someone. Now, he told me when we basically left each other, he told me that I was going to break first. He said that I was going to get into a relationship first. And I said, no, I think you're going to get into a relationship first. The reason being is because he's wanted a marriage, he's wanted kids. I don't want that stuff. Like, after the 10-year relationship, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to focus on myself. I don't. And I'll get to something in a sec. But after that, the relationship, actually, let me get to that now. During that relationship, now it's very easy. It's very easy, and I mean easy, to be jealous and to be toxic. It's it's just there, because when you love someone, quotation love someone, you basically have these feelings where it's like you have an attachment to them and you don't want to lose them. So everything in a relationship is like where you're going, who you're seeing, who you're talking to. Are you talking to this person? And your eyes kind of focus on, I don't want to lose that person. So you become a little toxic because you don't want to lose them, because you love them and you don't know what to do without them. And it makes perfect sense, because that's what that kind of love bond will do to you. Hello, welcome in. And it is just, it is very sticky, and it feels gross to me how I was towards the relationship too. My previous relationship. And it just grosses me out, like, golly, it's crazy what those feelings will do to you to make you toxic and to make the other person toxic. And it's just like, after getting out of that relationship, I knew I did not want to go back into a relationship because of how I mainly needed to work on myself and go forward in life. I said to myself, I hate the way that relationship made me feel towards that person. Like, it made me feel that I couldn't get out of it. I was abandoned. I didn't know what to do. And like, what would I do with myself? Where would I go? Like, because I was in a relationship for 10 years. So after that, it's all like, now you have like an abandonment issue. Like, you don't know what to do. Of course, I picked myself up. Really, really took some time, but I picked myself up. And I, talked with myself and said I need to be by myself. Self-independent, like I was in the beginning at that relationship. Because at the beginning of that relationship, I wanted to make money. And I was a teenager and I was working at Kroger's. I wanted to make money. I wanted to get things on my own. I paid bills. I paid my little cell phone bill, and I had got me a new cell phone. Like, at that time, we had flip phones, so I had a little bitty flip phone. Hold on. And and I was like, I was just trying to live my little teenage life, trying to buy things. I bought a new TV. I bought a little 32-inch. At that time, a little 32-inch was like $700, $900. And and then I bought me a surround system that was like about $1,000 or something at that time. At that time. And this was like, I don't know, 2009. Those were the times. But you know, yeah, give me a sec. Let me go refill my cup real quick, because we're halfway through the video. If anybody joins, I'm here a little bit longer. Cheers to moving forward. So, like I said, I didn't want that feeling of being in a relationship. It just feels weird and sticky and icky, especially like, you know, that where you're at. Of course, you got to learn how to trust. Um, a lot of people don't trust other people, and still to this day, I have trust issues with anybody, a homeless person, an Asian person. It's just about trust and being open-minded, because love will get you by the chokehold if you let it. And yeah, and when I came across that, I was just completely like, finally. Now, I had the news broken to me a long time ago. I can't say broken to me like it broke my heart, but his cousin is the one that told me that day. And that's why I made that video. It's out there. And I'm like, cheers for him. Like, I'm so happy. At the same time, I'm like, are you actually happy? Or are you trying to fulfill something? So here's where the kind of mixed emotions between that subject. I'm glad that he's getting married again. I'm very glad. However, is it really rushed? Is the question. Now, due to our age, and I've said this in the past, I say approximately, I mean, you can have a baby around 43 or so, but I think the max will be 40. Because the way, like I said, this is my mindset, but if the baby grows up, you're 40, okay? 50, the baby will be 10 years old. 60, 20 years old. 70, if you make it there, 30, and then 80, it'll be like 40. So it's all like, it's a weird little mindset that I have. That's the way I see it. So the way I found out was his cousin told me that he met this chick. Hold on. He met this chick at church. At church. And I'm all like, we were never religious like that. Like that. Like that. And I understand maybe he turned to religion, like some sort, to figure out his lifestyle. I talked about that a long time ago. I understand that. And I'm all like, okay. He met the girl at church. So I'm trying to put pieces together. It might not be the right pieces, because it's kind of like clueless. But I was like, okay. And then he's all like, well, he met her like maybe 2 months, maybe a month and a half in, and they want to get married now. And I'm all like, what? Married now? And at that time, this was like about a year ago or some change, and they tied the knot. I'm not even sure when they tied the knot actually, but his profile picture had him and the wedding, her in the wedding dress, and him in his wedding suit. Now it's all like, huh. It's all like, wow. And in fact, you're like, I'm thinking he wants to rush it because of his age. Because at a certain point in a man's life, and I've known this for a long time, there's a point where a man finally gets lonely. And it's approximately around that 37, about 43. because you can live your life, you can do so, but there's a lot of men out there that will do that. And I felt like it might have been rushed, and maybe she just don't realize it. Maybe it doesn't cross her path, and it's just his emotion towards, like, oh my god, I finally found a good one. I finally found a all unique one. I'm not sure what her interest is. I don't know her career path. I don't know anything about her. But it's just like, you met this girl in a month, and now you want to get married. And then it's, after marriage, of course, could have kids. If he has kids right after, that would be something. Just, but at the same time, I'm happy for him. It's kind of like I said, it's kind of mixed emotion. Like, is he really doing the right thing by getting married so soon and barely even know the chick? Is he gonna do the right thing? Who knows? But let his life play out. That's why I'm saying cheers for moving forward in life. Hello, hello, welcome in. Because, guys, a lot of the times we feel like we have to. We feel like we have to be in a relationship. We feel like we have to have a baby, have kids. And it's like, no, sometimes it's not all about that. I found myself, and I self-loved myself. And call me crazy, but the way I see it, loving yourself could be so dangerous as well. Call me crazy, but hear me out. Love in yourself. So once you self-love and self-heal, you focus on yourself, right? And then you're very independent. And it's all like, you can't figure out if you're going to love another one just as much as you love yourself. So balancing loving yourself and balancing loving another, it's a heavy set, which a lot of people don't get, you know. And like I said, hear me out on that. Because once you start self-loving yourself, you may not love another person the same way. You may like them and like try, but yeah, I mean, a lot of girls out there. There's so many girls out there that need self-love. Like, they don't love themselves. They constantly put makeup, and they're constantly trying to dress to impress and trying to make their ego, there. Now, of course, men have testosterone, so it's all like they're always focused on just ego base, and there's a lot of mixed emotions too in those things. But a lot of people need to self-heal, self-love, and figure out yourself. I saw on his post, because I guess he has everything public, which that's on him. And he posted a post that kind of referenced me on how I was. And so I'm like, you see, I put a lot, a lot. And I tell you, and I'm telling you on the internet, I put a lot of emotional damage towards him, to where it's all like he could never love another the same way, because he couldn't trust, or he couldn't figure out how to have this bondship. You get my flow? So when he posted that, I was like, it's a reflect on what I had done to him emotionally. This is why he's where he's at now, how he moved forward in life. And I'm glad that that helped him. As crazy as that freaking sounds, I'm glad that that damage that I had put him through made him want to move forward in life and finally tie the knot with someone. I don't know if it's a good thing. I don't know if it's a bad thing. It might be both. But the fact, and then I just made a video a while back about this, about moving forward in life. about like uh, just letting life happen. Let life take its course. We really, our past is the past, but it makes us who we are today. If he didn't have that past history, he probably would be a totally different person, if you catch my drift. But, oh my goodness. I'm just cheersing. Like, it got me to a cheers mode last night, and I was cheersing away until I couldn't cheers anymore. And I'm so glad that we both moved forward in life. I continue my life stress free without, having someone in my comfort zone, in my apartment. Like, I don't know what I would do if somebody was to be in my apartment and, cooking something or playing video games in the other room. Like, it just, I'm like, stop. I don't know what I would even do, you know, because I've been out of a relationship for that long that I was all like, you know, I hope you clean up after yourself. Please don't leave a mess. It's all that, like all that and some change, literally, all that and some change. And my grandma, she when I told her about it, and she flipped her flips, and she was like, "Oh, it's okay." She went crazy, and then she realized that, yeah, I couldn't give him that stuff, and she was telling my grandpa that, and then after quite some time, she's like, show him the photo, and I was like, I kind of ignored it. I'm like, ugh, why did I tell her? But at the same time, I wanted to make sure that she is aware, because all the time she referenced him. You should have stayed friends, blah blah blah, and I'm like, I don't want to be friends with that person anymore. Like, I don't even, when I saw the photo, I don't even see any attraction. No attraction. That's kind of very interesting. When you look at an ex and you don't see anything, like, ugh, I liked it, him. Like, I actually fell in love with him. I mean, cheers to that too. But after she said that, I kind of wandered off and went to my cars. Hold on. Ooh, had to sneeze. I kind of went off to my cars, and I was just like, I love my life right now, and I love my cars. And that's what basically kept me going. And I go out to my car and I started cleaning. I was like, this is what makes me happy. These cars are the ones that make me happy, because I for sure would take it any day. A car is not gonna hurt me. It might break my wallet for to freaking get it fixed, but a car's not gonna damage me like that. You know, it's kind of complicated. Maybe I'll make a video on that another day. But cheers to moving forward in life, guys. Please work on that, guys. A lot of people need to move forward in life. Yes, the past is the past. We still think about the past. It's okay to think about the past. It's okay. Don't be scared. Move forward in life. If you're trying to stop something, or you're trying to lose weight or something, go for it. Go for the goal. Go for the achievement. You know, we're only living on this universe only once. We are a planet in space with thousands of humans, and it is for our time to run the earth for just a short term. Some people are not going to make it 100 years old. Some people will only maybe make it for like 19, 13. You see all the incidents happen. A lot of people pass away before they even reach any age. So just understand, move forward in life, get through the relationship, or just get out of the relationship. Self-love yourself and move on. Move forward in life. But yeah, this is just me ranting, and this is my cup I am going to cheers to right now. Mm-hmm. Ooh! Guys, if you see this video in the future or whatnot, leave a comment section down below what you think about my little history, or just leave something in the comment section about anything. It could be even like what I ate today. But yes, guys, thank you for watching, and cheers to moving forward in life, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.